God blesses you. God blesses you. God blesses you. USA, it's all the same, only the names will change. That's a song from Bon Jovi's Wanted Dead or Alive. God blesses you too. ISIS. All I know is that to me, you look like you're having fun. That's from the Billy Park group Dead or Alive. From their song, You Spin Me Around Like a Record. So, got a group named Dead or Alive, or a group named Bon Jovi, Wanted Dead or Alive, and You Spin Me Around Like a Record, east-west. So you just got to live the fourth dimension. Everyone needs a church. Let's carpool. Got barbed wire around that. We have no choice but to live life forward, understand it backward. But understanding backward takes effort, and that's what a lot of people aren't doing. They don't want to, I think, for most of them, at least on half of the world. Reality is the creation of our excesses. Yeah. God blesses you. Fact, die, God laugh. We got two of the same thing. You only need but one. Thank God for dead soldiers. God blesses you. God blesses you. How can it be? Climate skeptic. Pale blue dot. Don't ask. Don't tell. Dead on a pale blue dot, D-O-T, dead on arrival, D-O-A, pale blue dot. If I have told you earthly thing, then you do not believe. How will you believe if I tell you heavenly thing? It's all about pragmatic competence. He's talking about earth. He was by referring to himself being raised to the snake raised up on the cross, like happened during the Exodus with Moses. He just made himself a placebo. It was a great placebo, I have to admit, but I think it got missed. God blesses you. 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 Bad guns are good guns. I've got to put around playing with that. Only thing stopping bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. All you got to do is delete the adjective you got, well, not delete the adjective, but guy with gun is guy with gun, or bad guns are good gun. Effectively producing desired intention given amount of time. When comparing between any two guns, the one most efficiently producing the desired intention given amount of time be the better of the two guns. Crime before a criminal needing a fine. God blesses you. Method of fact. Not here to be liked, I'm here to wake the sheeple up. Political catalyst. God blesses you too. To understand this, you got a picture, okay, the 8 as an infinity symbol, the rainbow colors. Basically, once I realized that Jesus lived and died during his mother Mary's lifetime, this means his circle of life superimposes that of his mother's circle of life. So what I've done then was twist her story into a figure 8, a classic 8, but turn their story into an infinity symbol. So they're each, Joseph, Mary, and Jesus are all each classic 8, but when you combine all three of their stories together, they become an infinity 8, larger than life. So let's say Mary was born one day. This would be this would be where Jesus was born, right where it intersects, going one way. This would be where Jesus. Use your imagination. Yeah, this would be where she was born. This would be where Jesus was born. Sometime around the age of 15. The last mention of Jesus and Joseph in the Bible was around 12. So I was going to say 15. And then he got crucified and died roughly around 30 years of age. So he was born and died, so got 15, that's 30 years. So Mary was born over here. just before you get to Jesus' birthday, it's going to be the date, the moment of conception. So let's say that, you know, got a little tail there, and then once it's crucified, you got to go through a mourning period. Let's say another 9 months. So you got kind of a fish symbol there. If you think of Jesus, from the moment she became aware of Jesus, up until the time she got over her mourning. So you got a fish. So and then we don't know when she died. You know what happened to her. So another 15, they got 15, 15, 15, 15, you got 60 years possibly for Mary. So that's just a tool, that's all that is. And I put a coat hanger there. Never put a period where there should be a comma. That really should just be a question mark on top and down on the bottom. I never put a period where there should be a comma. It kind of looked like a coat hanger. So you cannot take what Jesus said then, repeat it today, and have it mean the same thing. You just cannot do that. And this is my Trinity time board there. Not even Jesus himself could. Context is important. God blesses you. God blesses you. God blesses you. We just had 49 people killed in a gay nightclub named Pulse. Think about Pulse, a heartbeat, pulse of a rib. You got one hand, but we got two hands. And if you think of Earth, you know, you got to think of Earth as having a melting solid iron core, having a solid core surrounded by melted iron magnet, and then you got the crust. So inside the Earth's crust, we have a solid mass that's rotating in the opposite direction, which creates a magnetic field. So the picture the axis and the equator. The Earth is spinning. Because of that counter rotation of the center, solid center, we have a magnetic field that's created. You know, you got the magnetic wave coming around, and you think of the Earth, you know, but right there, you know, put that right there on the center of the little infinity 8. You got like a spinning Earth. You got like a heartbeat, a four-chamber heartbeat that's pulsing, and so that to me is a beating heart right there. Just a symbol. So I came across a quote by a Bulgarian or Romanian, I don't remember, philosopher. To varying degrees, everything is pathology except for indifference. Well, although I understand what he's trying to say, that if, you know, stress equates into physical illness. The same as sin equals death, stress equals illness. Just mentally being stressed out about something will tear your body down. The same as sin will. So, although I understand what he's saying, if you're indifferent to the suffering of others, it's not pathology. But what about indifferent to ourselves? It's hard to be indifferent to your own suffering. So I disagree with that. Indifference anywhere is pathology somewhere else. So to me, the only thing that can be indifferent and not be pathology would be God itself, infinity, time, and or dead work too. Once you no longer have a man or woman standing, we no longer have the need observer for God or time, and that's indifference as well. And don't tell one to start all over again. So I used the recent death of Nellie Harper Lee. Kill a Mockingbird, Goats Out of Watchmen. She based that. Goats Out of Watchmen is based on Ezekiel 33, where he talks about setting in the Old Testament, setting up a watchman. Well, Jesus was familiar with the Old Testament, so he set himself up as a watchman. He didn't have to die. He had a lot of charisma, talent. Everybody liked him, and so basically, I see Jesus as just a man that stood by what he was saying. He had to work with what he had to work with. There's no way he could be perfect himself. He was learning on the go. So the minute he was born, he was dead man walking. You know, as we live life forward, but understand it backwards. Okay, we have the luxury of realizing he was dead man walking after the fact, and during his ministry, he set himself up as a watchman. He was a mockingbird at the same time, and then he got crucified, which is the death of a salesman. Well, the day I was born also was the first second I was born. Not the day that I conceived, but the second I was born. And then I have $64,000 roughly to live on before I have to sell my home. And I'm determined not to. This is my stand. I'm making my stand. I'm going to try to. I'm following the steps of Jesus of Nazareth the best I'm able, figuring out how, all by my lonesome. And it is a very lonely world. to follow in his footsteps. A truly virtuous man, God blesses you. A truly virtuous man will come to the aid of a distant stranger just as quickly as he would a close friend. But then again, a truly virtuous man would have no friend. Well, I'm certainly nowhere near truly virtuous, but all one has to do is take a couple of steps trying to get to the right, in the right direction, trying to do better. And unless you conform to what, you're going to lose your friend that you had. And unless you conform to the other people's way, they're not going to accept you. And what I realized, to be the fairest one of them all today, one must be willing as well as able to please them all. That will be what it would take this day and age fairer than them all. So I only got $64,000 left to do it before I have to make a choice, selling my home or not. I can live a good while longer selling my home. But why? What hope would I have? What hope would I have wanting to live? If by the time that is gone, nothing has changed. Once a truly bleeding heart liberal, always a bleeding heart liberal. God blesses you. They do nothing but complain about me, while all the same refusing to even attempting understanding what I'm doing. Lord, living without consent, Lord. I consider our trees to be faggot neighbors as well. I mean, without them, we wouldn't have the atmosphere in which to breathe. So think of our trees as being the umbilical cord, our umbilical cord to a bowling ball. Did God not create the space into which he hurled the first stone? Let him who without sin cast the first stone. God already did it. Now it's free so for all. God blesses you. 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 Lynn Memorial Methodist Church, our purpose, loving God, loving neighbor. Good Neighbor Day for Saturday after Labor Day. You got two of the same thing, you only need but one. God blesses you. God blesses you. Make them a sandwich. Help yourself to the breadcrumbs, you temporary play event. God blesses you. God blesses you. God blesses you. Now, one more to go. Income disparity. Indifferent. Simply Jim. What I've done was, let's go backward, dog, G-O-D-O-G. I realized that December 25th and January 14th are both Capricorn. What I did was the G-O-A-T, and I came out with Tayo. And in the center, well, okay, right now, I can put anything I want in the center. Never put a period where there should be a comma. God blesses you. God blesses you. God blesses you. Antichrist would be anything that enemy to the Christian. A middle would be anything that's enemy to the Jew, and Dajjal is anything that are enemy to our Muslim. Well, you think about it, anything that are enemy to our Antichrist, our Christians, would be the Jews and the Muslim. Anything that are enemy to our Jew would be the Christians and the Muslim. Anything that are enemy to our Muslim would be the Christians and the Jew. They all cancel each other out, and I'm right back to zero. Being someone who is now choosing to believe in a zero God as opposed to one God, as they are both a real number, 0 and 1 are both real numbers, both natural numbers, the only difference being one is the counting number. That you will find no two people on the planet agreeing exactly the same way as to what it means believing in a God. As far as I'm concerned, we have just as many gods as we have people claiming one, have ever claimed one, and forever will be claiming one until there's no longer anyone left standing able claiming one. So right then, without an observer, God and time teaches this until it starts all over again. God blesses you. God blesses you. God blesses you. 1840 Mason Mill Road. What a friend we have in Jesus. I don't know. My sister knew every nursery rhyme before she, by the time she was 3, and I don't even remember the lyrics of any song growing up. With that person in their church practice. Pearl, I consider them to represent the number of women, children women can have during their lifetime. And then the spring break, and then out of those they're going to have so many children. And then spring break, and the children scatter. And total pig, I find it funny how women here in our half of the world, the western half, they all men are pig. Well, who would they be thinking, taking care of and nursing all them little piglets?